Hey, would-be farmer here from Central Florida. A topic comes up often in permaculture circles, in people studying permaculture, learning for the first time, curious about it. And that topic is permaculture political? You hear frequently when you bring up something about race, social issues, inequality, you will invariably get, permaculture isn't political, it's about growing food, okay, well, I can give you my opinions, or we can go to the source, and in this case, the sources. Permaculture was a word, invented by David Holmgren, a student at Tasmanian College of Advanced Education, or something similar, but in Australia, and a professor became his mentor, if you will, Bill Mollison. Now, these two gentlemen put together a manuscript which was David Holmgren's thesis, I believe his end of his second year in this program of environmental design. And the thesis was centered around why modern agriculture doesn't emulate forest systems. And Holmgren's philosophy at the time, his question was, why do we have the studies of landscape architecture, the studies of ecology, and the studies of agriculture, and why don't they combine? They don't mix. So this was his opportunity, with help and assistance from the professor Bill Mollison, to put together this concept of permanent agriculture or permanent culture. So is it political? Well, let's go to the books that they have written together or have written separately, and let's find out. Probably the most influential book on permaculture is the Permaculture, a Designer's Manual. And this is a copy, and I'm going to read from Bill Mollison's intro page. This book is about designing sustainable human settlements and preserving and extending natural systems. It covers aspects of designing and maintaining a cultivated ecology in any climate, principles of design, design methods, understanding patterns in nature, climatic factors, water, soils, earthworks, techniques, and strategies in the different climatic types, aquaculture, and the social, legal, and economic design of human settlement. I'll read that last part again. And the social, legal, and economic design of human settlement. It calls into question not only the current methods of agriculture, but also the very need for a formal food agriculture if wastelands and the excessive lawn culture within towns and cities are devoted to food production and small livestock suited to local needs. The world can no longer sustain the damage caused by modern agriculture, monocultural forestry, and thoughtless settlement design, and in the near future we will see the end of wasted energy, or the end of civilization as we know it, due to human-caused pollution and climate changes. Strategies for the necessary changes in social investment policy, politics itself, and towards regional or village self-reliance are now desperately needed, and examples of these strategies are given. It is hoped that this manual will open the global debate that must never end, and so give a guide to the form of a future in which our children have at least a chance of reasonable existence. So that's Bill Mollison, his first 4 paragraphs on his epic 600-page book, Permaculture, a Designer's Manual. So, all right, well, that's Bill Mollison. Let's go to David Holmgren, the student genius of the two, whose thesis became the eventual first book on permaculture. Now, this is not his first book. This is basically his epic book. And it came out in 2002, so that would have been about 20 plus years after Mollison's Designer's Manual. So, at the front, where he talks about the purpose of the book, he says, "Permaculture is much more than a form of organic gardening. My aim in writing this book is to explain permaculture to a wider audience that may not be attracted by the organic gardening label. It is especially aimed at activists, designers, teachers, researchers, students, and others grappling with the vexed issues of sustainability within a wide range of fields." I'll read that last sentence again. It is especially aimed at activists, designers, teachers, researchers, students, and others grappling with the vexed issues of sustainability within a wide range of fields. This is David Holmgren. Permaculture, Principles and Pathways Beyond Sustainability, 2002. What else does he have to say? Let's see. What is permaculture? 4 paragraphs in. People, their buildings, and the ways they organize themselves are central to permaculture. People, their buildings, and the ways they organize themselves are central to permaculture. The way they organize themselves. Okay, that's solid. Let's go to Introduction to Permaculture by Bill Mollison. And in referencing Permaculture 1, which was 1978, he has a couple of paragraphs, and then he says, "I saw permaculture then as I see it today, a multidimensional design system encompassing first and foremost education, financial and land access strategies, legal and business structures, regional self-financing, land restoration on any scale, effective aid delivery to those in need, in addition to domestic food and water security through soil creation and intelligent water harvesting and saving techniques." Go ahead and read that last bit again. Effective aid delivery to those in need in addition to domestic food and water security through soil creation and intelligent water harvesting and saving techniques. Aid delivery to those in need. Okay. Now that's the intro. Bill Mollison's Intro to Permaculture, which came out 3 years after his big designer's manual. The designer's manual, it's a manual, and like a manual, it is thick, and there's tons of stuff in there. So this is kind of an overview of that manual. Some people say, well, that's just kind of the way it is now, and I'm not too sure that that's what they meant initially in '78 when they put this together. It was all about agriculture. It was, and they have said in their writings that it was about agriculture, but it developed into an understanding that without a sustainable culture, there's no such thing as a sustainable agriculture. It will not last. But anyway, if we want, we can go back to Permaculture 1, where it all started. You can't get any closer to the source. And I've got it copied on paper. Permaculture 1, 1978. And if we go to the last chapter. All right, as a final statement, and this is the end of this epic manuscript that became Permaculture 1. As a final statement, we do not believe that a society can survive if it lacks values, direction, and ethics, and thus relinquishes control over its future destiny. This book is a contribution to the taking of such control. Some of the ultimate and obscene devices can be evolved in machine technologies bereft of value, as when President Ford approved the evolution of a nuclear device which kills living things, but leaves property unhurt using neutrino showers that pass through bricks and mortar and damage only living tissue. And that's ABC News, June 7th, 1977, editorial of the Mercury, June 8th. So that's where he's referencing that. I'll read that again. As a final statement, we do not believe that a society can survive if it lacks values, direction, and ethics, and thus relinquishes control over its future destiny. This book is a contribution to the taking of such control. Some of the ultimate and obscene devices can be evolved in machine technologies bereft of value, as when President Ford approved the evolution of a nuclear device which kills living things but leaves property unhurt using neutrino showers that pass through bricks and mortar and damage only living tissue. It might depend on it might depend on what your definition of political is, as to whether you think permaculture is political. But I've read from Bill Mollison and David Holmgren, the co-founders, the originators of the term permaculture, and try to give you an idea of their take on it. There's more passages. In fact, let me see if I can find, if we have any time here, let me see if I can find one that talks about actually choosing political candidates. Oh, let's see where it is here. It's chapter 14 of the Designer's Manual. Here it is. Alternatives to political systems. Oh, where am I trying to find it here? Oh, here we go. Oh, no, that's not it. Boy, I blew that one. Anyway, I can't find it, but what a way to end this video, huh? I thought I had it. I thought I had it right there. But anyway, he mentions getting behind a political candidate that is good on, that has good stance on ecology, regardless of the party. Now that's what he wrote back in '88. So this would have been before what we currently see in the political theater, especially in the United States. That move worldwide towards nationalism. But there you go. That's some spots there where they talk about permaculture and what it means to them, and you can decide whether permaculture is political or not. Thanks for your time. Hope you enjoyed this video.